We can probably say that this KVK 4 has concluded and we got the win. But this is probably the worst KVK that I have played in. So far, I have played 5 KVK in this account. From KVK 1, which is still my favorite, KVK 2, 3, and 4 in 58, and this redo of KVK 4 in 3609. And I must say that this is probably the worst that I have played in. Yup, that's right, even worse than my KVK 3, where people call it the farming KVK. And I didn't expect that this KVK will be the worst. So I'll tell you the reason why I think that. First, we didn't get that much fighting. From Pass for Opening, Altar Fights, we didn't get any of that. And for the first 30 days of this KVK, all I did was to fight barbarians. I was thinking that it was fine since Kingsland might be a good one. Well, it wasn't either. Kingsland lasted 8 hours max. And most of it was just some people just burgering to get some kill points. So let's see how many kill points we got. On Pass for Opening, 0. From Altar Fights, also 0. On Pass 7, I got around 50 million kill points, and on Kingsland, I also got around 50 million. And that Kingsland only lasted 8 hours. I know for sure that Kingsland is where I will get most of my kill points since that is where I got most of it in my previous KVK 4, which I got over 200 million kill points using only one march. I didn't even get to use the resources that I had in my bag, and I didn't even get to transfer the remaining resources from my farms. And it is already over. And looking at my reports, I must say that this is fairly positive, considering that I am a free-to-play who is fighting in Acid KVK with a lot of people that has max crystal tech and obviously with better gears and armaments. And this is probably my best report on this KVK if we are talking about kill point ratio and trades. That's 1187 kill point ratio if it is the older report, and about 1:11.8 or 1:12 trades. Yeah, QSH is pretty much broken right now. He is currently overpowered at the game, and to think that this is just tier 4 unit and my gear wasn't even done yet, and I have no accessories either. So definitely QSH is just so broken right now, and most of the time he is performing better than my infantry march. That is running with full legendary gear with a horn, much better armaments, and also tier 5 units. Although there is some scenario that my BQ LC pair is doing better in terms of gaining kill points in the report. It's just that it's tier 5, so the trades are favoring the tier 4 unit. And about my LC Alex pairing, I was talking about that there might be a scenario that we will use it. But luckily, we didn't get to that point. And what I'm talking about is actually the cheeseburgering. LC Alex is just so good on doing that, so if you're losing and you want some kill points, might as well do it if you have them both. And even on the leaderboards, it's showing positive, which I got 24 million in kill points and only 19.5 million on healing. And considering that I healed a lot of my troops when I was chaining, I think that is pretty good. And on Hall of Heroes, I didn't have the chance to kill my troops either, so I only did 190,000 here. And the amount of resources that I have used is 3.6 billion, minus 700 or about 800 million since it was used for chaining. So in reality, I only get to spend around 2.8 or 2.9 billion of resources, which is not a lot. So let's compare my performance on this KVK 4 and on my previous one. On Hall of Heroes, previously I did 1.3 million of dead units and 6.2 billion of resources spent. Meanwhile, on this one, we only did 190,000 of dead units and only 3.6 billion of resources, which most are used for chaining. And looking at that, it's disappointing. I didn't even get to kill my troops and use my resources, and the KVK was done already. So yeah, if you ask me, this is my least favorite KVK for now. And if I were to make my favorite KVK tier list, it would look like this. KVK 1 is still my favorite on S, KVK 2 and my previous KVK 4 is in A, KVK 3 is in C, and this KVK 4 is in D. Yeah, I think that's about right. Well, nothing we can do and we just need to move on and prepare for the next one. And speaking of preparation, a lot of you are asking what will I do now? Will I migrate or not? For now, I have no plan on migrating and I want to stay here in 3609, given that they will let me stay of course. And since our speedups didn't even get touched, I mean at least the universal one, we are actually good in terms of speedups. Now the problem is resources. But the good news is when we enter the real season of conquest, my farms that is scattered in different kingdoms can finally come in 3609. And I think I have more than 5. So if I migrate them all here, I will have 10 plus active farms. So maybe the resources problem will ease up a little bit. So we will see about that. Also, a lot of you are asking which I will craft next. I think it will most likely be the ring, then the KVK helm for archer, and finally the legendary gloves also for archer. That will complete my gears on my march, right? And I will not invest into anything as of this moment. So no cavalry for the third march. And what I want to do is to complete my 2 march first. I will maybe get the greatest glory for my infantry march and probably the dagger for my archer. So my equipment will look something like this. And for my commanders, I will finish Zhuge first and of course Bai Chi. Once I am done with that, then I will consider doing my third march, which will most likely be the cavalry. So how long will I do that? Probably in 4 or 5 months, maybe more or maybe less. And finally, on honor points. And yeah, I dropped by a lot on this since I was so lazy recently. I even missed out on all of the altars and ruins, so I guess there's no top honor for me in this KVK. And to tell you the truth, I kinda lose interest after our Kingsland, so I will chill for a bit. Although I'm pretty sure I can still finish with 75 million crystals spent in this KVK, or maybe even the 80 million one. The 100 million crystal is definitely out of reach for me right now. So yeah, that's it for the update for this KVK and it is done. Probably one last video for this KVK and that will be the end of our series for this KVK 4. Unless something happened of course. Oh, and also, before I forgot, we have a restart account soon in Kingdom 3912. And it is opening on Thursday around 10 to 14 UTC. But it may still change, so make sure to join our Discord. And I am gonna make a perfect starting guide and hopefully I get to finish it before Kingdom 3912 open. So yeah, Kingdom 3912 on September 4 on Thursday. I will be streaming it once the kingdom opens, so see you there. Thank you for watching and see you for the next one.